Welcome to Hong Kong, or Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. God, that is still a mouthful. I'm currently at Chet Lap Kok Airport, home to the greatest Hong Kong airport. Today, I'll be on one of the more interesting routes from here in Hong Kong to the Gold Coast. When I first learnt about this route, which started approximately 1 week prior to this video's filming, I genuinely had no clue what I was in for. I knew nothing about Hong Kong Airlines, and I wasn't even sure if they were a low-cost carrier or full-service airline. Usually, when I visit Hong Kong, I try to spend minimum 1 night and 1 day here, as it is my second favorite city in Asia, apart from Tokyo. However, in today's case, it was merely a connection, as I had just flown in from Taiwan. Before I check in, let's talk a little bit about the aircraft and airline I'm about to fly with. Hong Kong Airlines is a full-service airline operating out of the airport it is named after, serving a wide variety of destinations across the Asia-Pacific region, including to some interesting destinations, such as Istanbul, Turkey. One of the newest routes that just recently restarted was that of the Hong Kong Gold Coast route, which used to operate pre-COVID, but like most bizarre routes, were forced to cease operations due to, well, we all know what happened. Hong Kong Airport, as of this video's production, only has one terminal, which serves all of its airlines, excluding of course the cargo airlines. However, this is set to change in the near future, as a second and equally large terminal has nearly completed construction. As to whether Hong Kong Airlines will move across to Terminal 2 when it opens later this year is not clear yet, but only time will reveal whether this becomes the case. For now, Hong Kong Airlines uses the Kilo check-in lane for their check-in counters, and are the only airline that does so, being found on the far right of the building with several different counters for both business and economy class, and a few autonomous check-in kiosks. Check-in was quick and easy. However, unbeknownst to me, the check-in agent had swapped my seat to the opposite side of the aircraft, meaning instead of sitting on the right-hand side like I originally planned, I was put on the left. Once my bag was sent on its way to Australia, I was instructed to proceed through security as quickly as possible, because according to the check-in agent, the wait time for security was rather long. This was thankfully not the case, as the time duration between check-in and clearing immigration and security was only 8 minutes. Quite the big difference to the nearly 30 minutes I was warned about. However, because Hong Kong Airport is flexible and has more than enough staff, they simply opened, to my knowledge, 3 more security checkpoints, speeding up the wait time. As always, Hong Kong Airport will remain in my personal top spot as the best Asian airport, with Singapore coming in at a very close second. Post-security is the usual duty-free shopping area that is typical of every international airport prior to the gates. I have shopped at Hong Kong Airport in the past, and as such this area is no stranger to me. However, what I did not realize is that since it was Chinese Lunar New Year, there would be vast sales, red envelopes and red flowers scattered everywhere, and not just in the duty-free area, but also in displays all across the terminal. If you have seen my previous videos of flights that I have taken departing Hong Kong, you'll know that Hong Kong Airport has an underground APM, or Automatic Passenger Mover System. So what is that exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's a set of trains that run back and forth very quickly between 3 different stations spread underneath the terminal complex. On average, the trains stop at each station every 3 minutes, and they operate between 5:50 am and 1:15 am daily. Usually, I would get off at the Midfield Concourse station for gates 40 to 80, however today I got the chance to go all the way to the Satellite Concourse station. The Satellite Concourse is not much different from the main terminal building, However, this one is much longer and thinner, and significantly less duty-free options are available. Mainly gates and lounges can be found here. Honestly, I didn't spend much time looking around once I had arrived here, as I ideally wanted to try the Hong Kong Airlines business class lounge, which I've heard is not a bad place to spend your evening. However, I was unable to buy a single lounge entry at check-in or during the booking process. I guess I will have to fly business class if I want to try that lounge, maybe one day in the future. Upon reaching the gate, I had a look outside to the aircraft waiting on stand, which today is an Airbus A330-300, registered as Bravo Lima Hotel Papa. Construction of this airframe was completed in January of 2018 at the final assembly line for Airbus in Toulouse, France. She was initially sent to Tianjin Airlines of China under Bravo 302 Delta, before being moved to Hong Kong Airlines in November of 2024, making this aircraft very new to the Hong Kong Airlines fleet, but also making this aircraft just shy of 7 years old. Boarding commenced shortly after I had arrived at Gate 212, and was called firstly by class, but then by row for economy, which was a little strange for a full-service airline. Hong Kong Airlines' A330-300s, of which there are 10 of, have 3 different configurations. This particular aircraft is in a 2-class configuration with 24 lie-flat, reverse herringbone business class seats in a 1-2-1 configuration, and 279 standard economy class seats in a 2-4-2 configuration, with the last 3 rows narrowing due to the aircraft shape to a 2-3-2 configuration. Hong Kong Airlines have opted for the Recaro CL3710 seat for their economy class, and for this evening I shall be seated in 47 Alpha on the port side of the aircraft. The seat has 31 inches of pitch and 17.1 inches of width. There is a bifold tray table which folds down and moves back and forth towards you. In the seat pocket you'll find a safety card, magazine and air sickness bag. Above are individual reading lights only. Awaiting at each seat were soft and thin blankets, wrapped in a thin paper-like material. After realizing that I was sitting on the wrong side of the aircraft, I quickly switched sides and settled in. However, we weren't going anywhere due to our missed slot time, so we had to wait for a bit. But eventually, the jet bridge was detached, and we commenced our pushback from Gate 212, 32 minutes behind our scheduled departure time.
Also prohibited. 請將手提行李鎖匙放置行李格內或者前面嘅座椅下，並保持走廊及緊急出口暢通無阻。喺打行李櫃時，請小心以確保裏面嘅文件唔會跌下。When leaving the aircraft, inflate your life jacket by pulling the red cargo ferry down. Or boarding the tubes. To attend the whistle.
We taxied to runway 07 right via Tango, Hotel and Juliet 1.
緊急出口在各方都設有4個。
Cabin crew, please be clear for takeoff.
Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. Once airborne, we continued straight out over Hong Kong Disneyland before turning right and setting a southeasterly course for Queensland. Flight time today is 8 hours and 33 minutes, covering a distance of 4,456 miles or 7,171 kilometers, cruising at 35,000, 39,000 and 41,000 feet. As my seat selection was changed last minute at check-in, I was placed on the left-hand side of the aircraft, and I was incredibly thankful for this change, as the views after takeoff did not disappoint, with the first 10 minutes being nothing but the Hong Kong skyline, with several different prominent features being clearly visible, such as Kowloon, Victoria Harbour and the Xingyi village. On the back of every economy class seat is a 13-inch HD touchscreen entertainment system, which worked rather well, being very responsive, although a little bit laggy. As for the options to watch, it could be best described as pathetic. If you do not speak Mandarin or Cantonese, you'll find pretty much nothing to watch, as the information about the flight and moving map feature were both unavailable, which was a big letdown. As most passengers were fairly tired and the cabin crew wanted everyone to get to sleep as quickly as possible, a light but hot meal was served to all, as well as a round of drinks. Inside the pack that I was given was a piece of chicken breast and gravy on a whole meal wrap. Not bad, honestly. For a drink, I chose some orange juice. After this, I passed out, but I awoke over 6 hours later to heavy cloud and moderate turbulence, which honestly wasn't the most pleasant thing to wake up to. With approximately 90 minutes until landing, the crew began the second in-flight service. However, there was only the Chinese option available left, this being a bowl of fresh fruit with pineapple, kiwi and rockmelon or cantaloupe, a cup of blueberry yogurt, a packaged croissant with strawberry jam spread, and the main dish being Chinese stir-fried noodles with deep-fried eggplant, an egg frittata, and fried vegetables. Despite not being my first choice, it was okay. The combination of flavors really didn't sit well with my stomach. On board the aircraft are 8 bathrooms, 2 for business class and 6 for economy class, spread across the cabin. Inside was honestly a little bit dirty, but it had everything you could expect for a flight of this length, including hand soap and sanitary items. Just prior to descent, we passed directly over the only major city visible today, that being the seaside city of Brisbane in southeastern Queensland. Soon we commenced our descent into Gold Coast. As I mentioned a few times earlier, my original seat had been swapped at check-in, and as such the approach into the Gold Coast today consisted of nothing but the northern Tasman Sea. I've said this in the past in several different videos, but I find seat selection on flights to be one of the most important factors. Now granted, not everyone is the same. Some people don't care. Others, like me, meticulously plan each and every flight to get the best possible seat and views. The reason for my original seat choice was to see the Gold Coast skyline on landing, but no matter, I guess today I will get to view the water. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the international terminal via Kilo, Charlie, Lima, and Echo. We pulled into Gate 8, 30 minutes behind our scheduled arrival time. As I stepped off the aircraft, I thanked the crew in Mandarin Chinese, wishing them a happy Lunar New Year. However, I walked away from Hong Kong Airlines feeling a little disappointed. As always, let's start from the beginning. The check-in experience was rather smooth, but I'm still puzzled as to why the kiosks were not allowed to be used. Maybe they were for business class passengers or those with mobility issues. I guess I'll never know. On board, the seat was pretty good. Very comfy for this length of a flight. However, I definitely cannot leave out the entertainment system, which, other than a few Chinese movies, was pretty much useless. None of the features of the system, including the moving map feature, were working, or were not available, and there was nothing of interest to watch. This might be different on the other aircraft, and maybe it was just my bad luck, but genuinely, what the f***, Hong Kong Airlines? The food it wasn't great. I chose row 47 for this flight, which was in the first half of the economy class cabin, and I was genuinely shocked when all of the Western meals were taken, considering there were barely any Westerners on board. The only thing that I could possibly praise was the price I paid for this one-way flight, which was a grand total of $585.19, which was a fantastic price, almost as cheap as a low-cost carrier. So, my final verdict. Would I recommend you to fly with this airline? Well, if you don't have enough money, then yes, I would recommend it. It was cheap, quick, and easy. However, if you want a decent entertainment system or nice food on board, fly with Cathay Pacific from Brisbane. Trust me, it's so much more worth it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out the other videos that I have posted to my YouTube channel. And I have said this before, but I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join. The link can be found at the top of the description. Also, if you enjoy my videos and you wish to be notified when I upload again, please press the notification button next to the subscribe button, as it will let you know when I upload again, which happens every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time. And I hope to see you again in the next one. 小好在